Coach, I hate to start the press conference off with this, but can you explain to us why Josh Christopher hasn't been in the rotation?
Yes, I can. At the beginning, so I'll start off with saying this. We have 13 guys who deserve playing time. And it's not always an easy call as far as who gets to play and who doesn't. I had a conversation with Josh after a few games, I guess maybe like the fifth game where his minutes were kind of up and down. I was trying to play 11 and told him that it's going to be hard to play him for the next few games because I want to see other combinations, other guys, or whatever. He's going to get his opportunity. He's a great worker. He stays positive with his team. He stays engaged in practice. Trust me, he's going to get an opportunity. It's coming.
We heard from Eric who talked about how he thinks that Kevin Porter Jr. can do so much more and is capable of so much more, and kind of this whole he doesn't know how good he can be. Mm-hmm. Do you see the same thing?
I'm not doing that shit.
A little bit. I mean, he can do so many things that sometimes it's hard to focus on, 3 or 4 of them. So I guess for him, it's knowing that how he goes, we go, right? So if he is kind of all over the place, then it makes it a little bit harder. But if he's focused on making plays for others, shooting his catch and shoot, starting the defense with his ball pressure, being in the right spots, then he can blossom to do all of those great things that he does. So I've been trying to talk to him more about like, hey, stay in your role, and don't explore all those great things that you're able to do. But he's just, the one thing I don't want to do is take away his creativity because he has so much, and it usually ends up being a good thing. So he's been so good lately. I mean, with his passes, I think he had 11 assists last game, but he also had 5 hockey assists. So that tells me that he is moving in the right direction. So if that means he's going to give us even more at some point, I'm with it.
How are things coming with Bruno and Jason? Somebody say that already?
No, he's over there about to pass out. Bruno is coming along. He's ramping up. As you just saw, Luke put him through a great workout, so hopefully he'll be back sooner than later. Jay Sean's going to be a while. Still don't know the timetable on that, but it is going to be whatever a while means. I wish I had more clarity around what a while means for you and for me, but that's what I've been told.
Based on that workout, are we going to see Bruno in some pick and pop sets?
No.
Coach, earlier in the week, you guys sent Tata Washington down to the G League. Is there anything in particular you told him that you wanted to see him improve?
No. I told him that I want him to play, get some minutes first and foremost, but I want him to play in a way that he's not looking to score 30 points a game or, do too much. I want him to do everything that he would do in an NBA game down there. And so when he comes back, I can plug and play. So I want him to play in the same role that he would have here as far as getting everybody organized, taking the shots that he has, making plays for his teammates, getting after it on the defensive end, being in the right spots so that when he comes back, he can play.
George, we were talking about the rotations earlier. How do you sit these young men down that you have they've been the man, on so many levels, and now they come to this level, and you have to have that talk with them that, you may or may not get a chance to play?
It's difficult. It's so difficult. It's probably the one thing that keeps me up, because those conversations with guys who have earned minutes, worked hard, done everything that they've been asked, and just because of the numbers, a decision has to be made. So it's up to them as far as their professionalism. How are they going to handle it? Are they going to be ready when their number is called? And the one thing that I do tell them is it always comes. Your opportunity always comes, but it's just a matter if you're ready for it. So, yeah, it's a difficult thing because we do have a bunch of guys who deserve to play, but that's my job to make those decisions and also put them in a mindset of their opportunity will come, and when it comes, they need to be ready for it.
Getting back to Brian's question about Josh, last year he played some point and a lot of wing. Was the decision this year just wing and not a point? And is that why the numbers kind of get to him because you can't squeeze him in over there too?
So far, yeah. So far, I mean, one of the things that I like about Josh is he is downhill and he is aggressive and he can be a spark off the bench and can get into the paint or shoot threes. His playmaking is coming. It's coming. And but right now he's more of a wing for me than he is for a point guard.
Obviously, you can't clear out everybody because you never know what you'll need or what happens.
Yeah.
But would he benefit from some RGV time? Just to get minutes?
I don't think going to RGV is bad for anybody, but he's not going.
Coach, this is the first time I've gotten a chance to talk to you since the Houston Astros won the World Series. You were part of that iconic picture with Dusty Baker and Coach Lovie Smith. How did it make you feel to see, someone that you know in this city, one of your colleagues, win it all like that?
First of all, to be considered a colleague of Dusty Baker is unbelievable, amazing. But when I didn't even really get to see the game, we played Minnesota that night, but I did see the last out. And watching him and the people around him, like surrounding him and hugging him, and the joy that he had in the interview after the game, I couldn't be more proud of him and happy for him. And it's unfortunate that it took a championship to kind of like validate him as a coach or manager or whatever, but I'm glad he got it because there's no more discussion about how great he is.
Have you talked to him?
I haven't. I'm probably somewhere down the list.
Do you ever use parallels like that, like across sports, looking at the Astros and saying, hey, this is what we're trying to be one day here?
100%. I mean, they had multiple seasons of 100 losses, right? Like, I think 3 seasons in a row where they had 100 losses, and now they're the champs. So, yeah, I use that with my staff. I use that with my group. I use that for myself because, yeah, there's some, well, I'm sure when they were going through those 100-loss seasons, there was a lot of negativity around, and there was a lot of talk about this and that. But sticking to the plan and getting the right guys and kind of staying with it, they won it all. So that's going to be us.
What is a good, number of games, number of minutes, for you to get, a good sample size of a group or of a lineup?
I try to use 10. Sometimes it can go to 11 or 12, but after the 10 games that we've just played, I'm starting to reevaluate some things, and really, as far as numbers are concerned, small sample sizes are usually not good things to kind of use. So a 10-game sample size is a lot easier to kind of put your finger on what works and what doesn't. So.
What about minutes for a lineup for a grouping? Do you have that?
It's hard. So with our group, we've had so many injuries, so it's I think our highest number could be in the 30s or 40s or something like that. But it's a good question. I hadn't really thought about that part of it as far as minutes with the group. I leave that to the analytics guys, and they give me the lowdown.
Coach, I know there's no such thing as you don't like to partake in moral victories, but the other night you all went up 12, then you were behind by 12, came back to tie the game up, and you were right in it like you all have been in most games this season. But when you look at how your team is playing, and especially when you have players like, there was one point where Jalen made a turnover, you called a timeout, he came to the bench, and from TV we could see him, saying my fault, taking a lot of that responsibility. Is that what you've seen from the team this year as far as that growth is concerned?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we haven't had the wins to back up all of the good things that are happening with our group. We're playing hard. We got guys holding themselves accountable. We have a group that I can hold accountable to things. We have a group that's competitive. We have a group that doesn't give up in those moments like you're talking about when we get down 12 after being up 12. There's so many good things that are going on. It's just we got to learn how to win, and we got to go through it. We got to understand that adversity is part of it, but we're miles ahead of where we were this time last year.